Hey, this is Judy Skilling with Synergistic Partnership. And if you really want to learn how to level up your life, you should be listening to the Time to Shine Today podcast with my good friend, shipmate, Scott Ferguson.
Time to Shine Today podcast Varsity Squad. This is Scott Ferguson. We're at episode number 220 with my shipmate, my really good friend, Judy Skilling. When I say shipmate, it means she served in the Navy. I'm a Navy veteran, and it's just fitting that it's coming out on this week of Memorial Day. Judy is I'm not going to spill too much, but she lost her husband literally just years after they gave birth to their first child. And so she's had a lot of challenges, but she mourned and she really looked to see how she could help others level up because there was people there for her that helped her. And now she's going to help you. She's a fantastic, fantastic high-performance coach. She really helps out our military and our veterans, and that is so close to my heart. So please, please, please sit back, relax, break out your notebooks, because here comes my really good friend, Judy Skilling, my high-performance coach. Let's level up. Time to Shine Today podcast Varsity Squad. This is Scott Ferguson, and I got me a shipmate. United States Navy, a fellow shipmate of mine who is a certified high-performance coach. Her name is Judy Skilling. She's in her story. You got to go to her website when we're done. Her story about what she had to go through to get where she has. She lost a husband, had to raise a child basically by herself. I know she has some little bit of family help, but still she has to do a lot of things on her own. But she's passionate about helping military and veteran entrepreneurs increase their productivity, improve their wellness, and establish a healthy work-life balance. She enjoys writing and can be found in well-known publications such as Medium, Thrive Global, Addicted to Success, and Entrepreneur. And she also is a co-authoring a book called Define Your Purpose, which we'll get to a little bit later in the show. She's a single mother of an 8-year-old and enjoys cooking, entertaining family and friends, and is an avid bucket list adventurer. And Judy, my love, thank you for coming on Time to Shine today and introduce yourself to the podcast Varsity Squad. But first, what's your favorite color and why?
Well, thank you so much, Scott. Before I answer that spine-tingling question, thank you so much for your time and inviting me on the show. So I'm honored to
wouldn't miss it, love.
Provide value to your audience. My favorite color, I'm gonna have to say blue. Blue has always just, it's navy blue.
Navy blue, navy colors. I love it. Hey, where'd you do your boot camp?
We're Chicago.
Great mistakes, Chicago. Great Lakes.
Yeah.
Me too. Yeah. Probably a lot before you, but I was there in 1990. And I had
2000. So about 10 years later.
About 10 years difference, right?
It's not bad.
Love it. Yeah. So let's get a little bit into origin stories. If you could tell us a little bit kind of about the story of where you were in becoming a medic or a corpsman, I guess, within the United States Navy, and kind of utilizing that, leveling up, and also kind of the loss of your husband as well. And then how you turn things around, and not around, you press forward and have your coaching business, please.
Yeah, no, exactly. So I joined a week after graduating high school, so I was 18. Yeah, pretty much jumped in. But the weird thing, not the weird thing, but the serendipitous thing is I like to share this story is it was 6 months or 5 months before I graduated high school. And I was invited to join this class. And this was in Arizona. And this class was called Jobs for Arizona's Graduates. And what it was different career people would come in, talk about their career, and you could talk to them and see if you could do an internship and learn more about it. So a Navy recruiter comes into this class, of course. So my teacher's hey, you gotta do this and stuff. And I was like, yeah, sure. My initial plan was to take some time off of high school or whatnot. And then so I took the ASVAB, and I was really passionate about medicine at the time. I loved A&P, and I was like, I want to be in the medical field. And the guy's recruiter's I don't know, we'll see, and kind of just doing the recruiter dance and stuff. And
of course.
So anyway, yeah. So I signed up. But the thing about this class was it was geared towards middle to low income kids, people who lived in the ghetto, people who lived, in the, low income, impoverished places. Sure. I had a job. I was middle class. I was I don't fit in this class. So one day I asked the teacher, how did you pick me? And this was a small class of 15 kids. Mm-hmm. And she's like, all I did was open up this book of high school seniors, and I just randomly picked names. And yours was one of the names that I picked. And I was like, what?
Okay.
It just
Wow.
blew my mind. And
Right.
so because of that serendipitous moment, and I came from a high school class of like 250 people. So
Okay.
it wasn't just like a country town of like 20 kids, you know what I
Sure.
mean? So
Right. Right.
like, so that changed my life. And so I joined the Navy and stayed in the military for 7 years. I got to the
Mhm.
rank of E5,
Yeah.
dual warfare, qualified surface warfare, like really, really good
Yeah.
performance. And the reason why I got out was because I wanted to become a nurse. You know,
Okay.
that was where my passion was.
Were
And
you a corpsman in the hospital corpsman in the Navy?
yeah,
Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
yeah. So I served 7 years as, so I got to the rank of E5 in 5 years, which is unheard of pretty much.
That's pretty,
And
yeah, especially for a
yeah,
hospital corpsman. I mean, that's second class petty officer if you're listening, squad.
yeah,
Absolutely. Okay.
yeah. So for an E5 to get to, in 5 years was
Yeah.
really, really
That's
good.
really good.
So, it's
Absolutely.
really good. And so anyway, I tried to do the officer route while I was in the military, and I was like, I
Hmm.
get it. I'm picking up these signs. It's probably not for me. So I
Hmm.
got out, got my bachelor's of nursing through the University of Texas in San Antonio, the Health Science Center. Stayed in San Antonio for about 5 years, and that's where I met my late husband.
Mm.
And so we met, we got married, moved to Colorado, and a year after we moved there, we had our baby girl. She was less than a year old, and then we got that diagnosis of cancer in 2013. He was 30 years old. And at the time, it was stage 4 colon cancer. It had already spread to his liver and his colon. And we're like, what are we going to do? And I was like, well, we're going to do what we can. We'll just take one day at a time. We're going to fight this. We're going to do this. And so that started a 5-year journey of radiation, chemo, appointments, things like that too. And all the while, like, he's not working. So I'm doing my 12-hour, 13-hour shifts as an emergency room nurse, taking care of our little one that's just a toddler. He's watching her on his worst days because we couldn't afford childcare.
Right.
And it's just like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do this. I need to be home with my family. That my family needs me.
Right.
And so one day, I was like, what can I do from home? And I'm Googling work from home opportunities, all that other stuff. And of course, get to that rabbit hole. But I came across coaching. I saw this video and I was like, that's really interesting. And learned more about it. And when I really understood what it was, I was like, something inside came alive. And I was like, I know that this is the next thing.
Right.
So, so I invested in becoming a transformational spiritual coach at first through Mary Morrissey's Life Mastery Institute program, and absolutely loved it. The universal laws, how to manifest things.
Sure.
I geeked out over that. And when I came across Brennan Burchard and his his high performance habits book, it clicked. And I was like, this is me. How do I become a high performer? How do I do this? Because I know I can do it. My evidence in school and stuff. And so I became, after I lost my husband, I worked with a high performance coach because I was like, what do I need to do? Like, what does this next phase look like? How do I use this coach to figure out what that looks like for me? And I wanted to do coaching.
Right.
So worked with a coach, got amazing results. And then I was like, I want to be a coach. How do I do this?
Right.
How do I make this impact for people? And so I became a certified high performance coach. But the reason why I wanted to do that was because of the impact it made for me from my military career and my nursing career, and how it complemented everything that I learned, from the military. And I was like, the veteran community, like, they need this.
They need
like,
it,
I want to, what can I do to, like, I need to do this, and it just resonated, and it just resonated so strongly with me. I'm like, I'm passionate about, my brothers and sisters in arms. And my late husband was Army National Guard. And I was like, this is so needed in this community. It is absolutely vital. So that's what I've been doing for the past couple of years,
I love
nursing and doing coaching. It's amazing. It's awesome.
Yeah. You're touching so many lives with that, Judy. So when you're starting to work with, let's go back. What do you think then makes a great coach?
Oh, I'm humble. I believe I'm a fantastic coach, but it's not 100% me. Like I had echoed earlier, I'm spiritual, but I think most of being a good coach is being able to tap into that spiritual aspect to communicate to that other person, telling them the things that they need to hear. And I might not have any clue where it's coming from, but it's what
Right.
that person needs to hear. And I think, listening and
Oh yeah.
really, truly listening, not just like, I get it. I get it.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
But
funny
really,
that you say that. I mean, like you're asking the powerful questions, like every coach should, right? To get
right.
the blind spot out of them, if you will. But you have to listen to, right?
Yeah.
And
And
speaking of,
intensely, like you're
yes,
intensely
intensely listen,
listening.
right?
Yeah.
So then let's follow up on the blind spot. What is your secret sauce then for helping during that discovery period, or maybe the first stages of the coaching, to help them find their blind spots?
Yeah. No, that's a great question because I feel like each coach has their special
Mhm.
uniqueness and things like that too. And I would say that, my secret sauce or what my unique ability is when I am working with people and having these conversations is really, not only do I listen, I'm so sorry. Not only do I listen, but I listen to their tone and I listen to
Mhm.
how they're explaining themselves. And I can pick up whether or not someone's BSing me.
Right.
And and I can call them out on that.
Mannerisms,
But
yeah.
mannerisms, and I do it in a loving and supportive way.
Sure.
But there is this unique quality that I have that I've not been able to put my finger on, that people are able to just open up with me.
Sure.
There's something about my voice, my face, my
Right.
structure, how I am.
Mhm.
They're just like, I feel like I've known you forever, Judy.
I do as well. We've only spoke one other time, like 2.5 months ago, and I feel like
Yeah.
you have
Yeah.
that about you. So with that being said, like when you're starting the discovery period, like is there any good question that you wish that they would ask you but never do?
Yeah. So sometimes when they, some of the questions that I get is like, why should I work with you?
Right.
That's always like number one. And I'm
Sure.
like, that's a great question. Why should you work with me?
Right.
Why should you work with me? And asking them like, why do you think it would be a great, why
Sure.
do you think you want to work with me?
Okay.
But sometimes they ask me, you know, um, I don't know if I'm ready for this. How do you know that I'm ready for this type of change in my life? And I'm like, I wish sometimes they would ask me that. Like, how do
Sure.
I really know?
You do. Yeah, it's
Um,
true. I mean, they're drawn to you some way, or attracted through different forms of the universe or God and whatnot. But that it's true, and you show up in people's lives, and you're like, wow. I mean, not all coaches is the right horse for the course. And you'll know that right up front.
right.
But if there is that connection, there's nothing like it. So, Judy, are you familiar with the movie Back to the Future?
Yeah, I
Okay,
saw that the
so
other day.
yeah, so let's get into the DeLorean with Marty McFly.
Oh, let's go.
Let's go back to the 22-year-old Judy. I don't know if your last name was Skilling then, but let's go back to the
Yeah.
22-year-old Judy. What kind of knowledge nuggets would you be dropping on her to maybe help her shorten her learning curve, level up, and blast through maybe just a little bit quicker?
Okay. So 22, I was deployed because that was probably 2004. So that was right around the Iraqi,
Mhm.
the world, so I was deployed on 3 different naval ships during that time.
Right.
So during that time, I think definitely I probably would have told myself, you know, that's a really loaded question. I'm just
No,
trying to
you
think.
got to be raw here. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
time to
no.
shine today. We
Yeah,
pull out the real.
definitely. I think definitely I would have told myself, get out sooner, you know.
Okay.
I love the military,
Mhm.
and even now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, maybe I could have stayed in longer. But I don't think
Right.
I would have been able to make the impact that I'm making now if I'd stayed in the
Yes.
military, And I probably would have told myself to get on this coaching journey much sooner than I had,
I
4 years
appreciate that
ago,
transparency. I love that, Judy.
and
So,
yeah.
how do you want your dash remembered? That little line in between your incarnation date and your expiration date, your life date and death date, and your
Mm.
tombstone. How do you want Judy's dash remembered?
Oh, I love that question. Like, I'm just gonna fully admit that these
Mhm.
past few days I was in a mindset retreat with my business program that I'm a part of to help scale my business much quicker.
Nice.
And she was like talking about what legacy, what impact do you want to leave on the world?
Right.
What is your thumbprint? And I kept getting these images and these visions of, presenting and talking in front of, hundreds and thousands of people
Sure.
that are veteran organizations. And I'm well known. And,
right.
People know my name.
Sure.
And the impact that I want to make isn't like, mainstream like Brennan Burchard or
Sure.
Gary Vaynerchuk or anything like that. But the fact that I have made this ripple effect from people who have worked with me and their lives are forever changed is, that dash, I want it to say, like, she changed my life beyond, realization. She doesn't know how much she really changed my life.
Wow. I love that. I love the passion in that. I mean, and it's true. It's like, I hear a little bit of you second guessing yourself on a few things, but not like consciously doing it. Like you're so fired up and you're so limitless, but honey, be the Gary V. I'm going to tell you right now, be the double B. The Brennan Burchard. I'm telling you, you have the looks, you carry yourself. Your voice needs a podcast. I'm sorry, I don't mean to start coaching you right now, but you need it.
I've heard that, and I was like, I don't want a podcast.
I'm telling you, like you have the ability for what you went through to really level up and just crush things. So let me ask you something. What then keeps you up at night?
The thing that I think about is the impact that I'm making on my daughter. That's the thing that really keeps me up. Like, am I role modeling how she can be as a woman? Yes. 5 years, 10 from now, am I role modeling? Because I do coaching calls. I'm doing this stuff, I'm putting in the work. My daughter's seeing that. Yes. And she thinks, okay, it's all right for me to be on the computer. And I'm like, oh no. So like,
Mom, you are.
How can yeah, exactly. But at the end of the day, it's just like, I want to provide and I want to be that example that like, look, mommy's a successful multi-million-dollar coach and she's making an impact and she's really giving back to people and, and creating this vision so that I am that role model for her to be like, yes, you too can be an entrepreneur and you can make a difference. And it's okay to be different.
Love it. Be unique, be yourself, be authentic. I love that.
Yeah.
So what do you think people misunderstand about you the most, Judy?
I think people misunderstand the high performance words, to be honest with you, because I did when I was like, well, I don't want to be on that level of running multi-million-dollar corporations and winning Olympic, like, I don't want to be that. But when I really understood what that meant, like breaking it down to like you and I level,
Sure.
that or whatever, I was like, oh, yeah, I could do that. Like I could be a high performer. And so I think that was definitely like the misconception that I was really misinformed on,
Right.
Because I just thought, no, I couldn't, that's not for me,
right.
But when I really truly understood that.
Right. And absolutely, I get that. I mean, I felt at first I was kind of almost an imposter syndrome when I opened up for Brendan one time. And I opened up for Gary Vaynerchuk one time. And I've opened up, even for Tony Robbins, I was like the 9th speaker on the list. So I get it. And I didn't think that I wanted to either. And I won't ever be, because I don't want to be that spotlight person. But by doing what I do, I get to change the lives on an inch by inch. It's a cinch level, and that's exactly where you're at. But I think that you are going to blow up. I just really do. I mean, you have it. So let's take out the computer. Let's take out the tablet, the cell phone. What are 3 things that Judy can't live without?
My books.
Okay.
Books? My books.
Okay.
They're like, they're attracted to me. So my books for sure. And I'm imagining we're excluding family, because I would always say my daughter too.
Absolutely. That would be a given.
That's a given. So I'm not counting her, even though she's already on the list.
Sure.
So my books for sure. And my notebooks,
okay.
Because I take dozens and dozens of notes on everything and anything. And I would definitely say, I'm just trying to think. Nature.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Like,
I always say chicken wings, because I'm kind of like, I'm a snob and I like my chicken wings on my cheat day, if you want to call it that.
No, I need to be in nature. Like I need to be around like lakes or forest or mountains. Like I need that.
I hear you.
For sure.
So what is your definition of a life well lived?
Oh, when I wake up every morning and I am like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you, universe. Thank you for this day. I'm awake and I'm breathing.
Yes.
And that
gratitude's key, right, love?
Yeah, like within minutes, within seconds of waking up.
Yes.
Thank you. I can open my eyes today.
I love it.
And and
that's beautiful.
Staying in that energy all day,
Yes.
And
yes.
being able to like today, this afternoon, we're gonna go to the aquarium and just be like, let's go, and taking my daughter and just doing those family bonding moments. And,
yes.
And that's that's what I live for.
That's the collection of moments that you just have. You know what I'm saying? If not, life becomes a blur. I mean, gratitude is a huge, important part of myself, my clients, and hopefully my listeners out there, their lives as well. So, and hey, time to shine today, Podcast Varsity Squad. We are back with my shipmate, a high performance coach, Judy Skilling. And Judy, we are going to go into our leveling up lightning round. You and I could talk for 15, 20 minutes. Maybe even an hour on each one of these questions, okay? But you've got 5 seconds with no explanation. You ready to rock? And they can be answered that way.
Okay, because I wrote down all my answers. So
okay,
I'm good to go.
Okay, we'll see. Awesome. So, chess or checkers?
Ooh, checkers.
Love it. What's the best leveling up advice you've ever received?
Prepare to face the success tax.
I love it. I love it. You had that written down. I love it. I love it. So if I'm in my doldrums, just not feeling it, Fergie, read this book. What is it?
Happy Pocket Full of Money.
Yeah. Who's that by?
Oh, I didn't write the author down.
No problem. No problem. We'll find that out. We'll put it in the show notes. I love it. I love it. So favorite charity and or organization you like to give your time or money to?
I just actually was talking to today. The Veteran Entrepreneurs Women's Center. It's a nonprofit.
Okay.
That helps establish women veteran entrepreneurship.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Who's had the most profound impact on your life or career?
2 people. My business mentor right now, Fabienne Fredrickson.
Okay.
Absolutely amazing.
Quickly.
And Brendan Burchard.
Love it. Love it. Emoji you use the most while you're texting?
The one with the tongue sticking out, like that.
Love it. Love it. Worst advice you've ever been given?
Stay small.
I know, right? Stay small. Can't do that.
No,
and share one of your habits that contributes to your success.
Time blocking.
Beautiful. Last question. You can elaborate on this one. What is the best decade of music? 60s, 70s, 80s, or 90s?
90s.
I was going to say, you better say 90s from the time because I'm the 80s. So awesome.
90s, of course.
My love, how can we find you, Miss Judy?
Oh, yeah. You can head over to my website, which is www.judyskilling.com. There's some fantastic resources on there.
Yes, there is.
Some fantastic resources. And that's where people find me. I'm also on LinkedIn, Judy Skilling, HPC Vet, as well as Facebook.
Yes, you are.
JudySkilling.com, HPC Vet. That's my business page. But yeah, I'm on Facebook and LinkedIn.
Yay. So let's talk a little bit about this book you're kind of co-authoring with, I believe, 9 other authors. It's called Define Purpose. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's Dare to Be Authentic, Defining Your Purpose.
Okay.
And so this is a book project headed by Mari Mitchell. She hosts the podcast show Dare to Be Authentic. And so what this book coming out in the springtime is about authors defining their purpose. And so I share my personal journey of, not only losing my husband, but the thoughts and the realization I had to go through and the internal spiritual shifting I experienced transitioning from nursing into becoming a coach and what that journey was like, mentally and spiritually. And so it was a very profound experience, just putting it all on paper. So it'll come out around May or June. I don't have the exact time frame, but it's going to be an amazing, it's like a chicken soup of the soul, but it'll have a compilation of a whole bunch of
Can't wait
authors.
to get my signed copy. That's fantastic. And in Squad, also, when that book drops, The first one that goes to any of our social Time to Shine today and just puts the word skilling in there. No, actually, let's go with shipmate. Let's go shipmate. If you put it in any of the comments, the first one to do it, it can be Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, wherever you find Time to Shine today. Well, I will give you a signed copy by my good friend Judy Skilling. Judy Skilling. She'll sign it. It'll all be on Time to Shine today's dime, and I'm sure she'd be happy to mail it out for us if she could.
It'll be my pleasure to send you any free copies that you want.
Yay!
I get up to 10.
Yay!
So,
well, please earmark one for me that you personally do for me, and then I will purchase another one for you to sign. And Judy, if you could, please leave us with one last knowledge nugget you want us to take with us, internalize, and take action on.
Yeah. So one last nugget. So what you had mentioned before, time blocking, and how profound that has made on my results and the way I do my business. That's what I would impart on anybody, because we are in a world of distractions and we get distracted and busy, and just even blocking aside 30 minutes, 45 minutes of like dedicated, focused time, which is challenging in today's micro minute attention span.
Yes.
But that, game over. Like it's the simple things. But when you implement simple things, done.
So agree with that. Time blocking is huge. Turn off everything. And like I have notebooks now. I use this thing called a Rocket Book where I can write in it and scan it, and then it's all in. But I stay away from the electronics because I will wander. I got that monkey mind every once in a while. So thank you for saying that. And squad, we just got a free masterclass with my shipmate, my beautiful Judy Skilling, who believes that a coach needs to be humble, be spiritual, and also be able to tap into her client's spiritual side, the aspect of that to help them communicate and really intensely and intently listen. Huge with her. And not only listen with her ears, Judy listens with all her senses. She looks for mannerisms. She looks for facial expressions. She looks for that, makes her a fantastic, highly sought after coach. And she wants you to pull, if you're younger and you have time to make decisions, or even if you're older and you're really transitioning, pull the trigger on what you're passionate about. Judy said that she might have got out of the service a little bit earlier and really attacked the coaching side, but her life that she lived in, it's been as tragic as parts of it has been. She's really leveled up and helped people change their lives, especially those close to my heart, the veterans. She will be remembered as someone that changed people's lives beyond their realization. It's very important that the impact that she has on the world, it's even more important than the impact that she has on her daughter. She will remind herself and her daughter and everybody she comes in contact with to be unique, be authentic, and make an impact on everybody that you come across. And even if the impact is making them smile like Judy is right now, then that's what that matters. She wakes up grateful every day, and she strives to stay in that energy of gratefulness all day. She wants you to time block and be dedicated to the time blocking so the days just don't turn into a blur. She wants you to make a collection of memories so those days don't blur. And be prepared to pay the success tax. And I love that. I wrote that down. That's going on my board. And Judy, you level up your health. You level up your wealth. You're humble. You're hungry. You're beautiful inside and out. Thank you so much for coming on Time to Shine today. I'll be forever grateful. I cannot wait to collaborate with you on some veteran stuff. I just love your guts.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. It was an honor and a pleasure, Scott. Shipmate.
I'll talk to you soon, love. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, thanks so much for listening to this episode of Time to Shine Today podcast, proudly brought to you by Sutter & Nugent Real Estate Excellence, who can be reached at 561-249-7266 and online at www.sutterandnugent.com. If you are a business owner or professional who would like to be interviewed on Time to Shine Today, please visit timetoshinetoday.com/guest. If you like this episode, please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you get your podcasts. There's a link in the show notes to our website. Also there, you will see our recommended resources. We hope that you will support our show by supporting them. If you like what you've been listening to, it'd be great if you could just give us a 5-star rating and tell your friends how to subscribe while you're at it. I'm your host, Scott Ferguson, and until next time, let's level up. It's our time to shine.